Hey everybody, Nick Pullano here, P&P Outdoors. Today I've got a product sent to me by Webby Shops. It is by Hawke Sport Optics, and it is the Shot Saver. Now this is going to save you a lot of money on ammunition. And if you're like me, and you don't like buying expensive ammunition, sometimes you realize that you just have to. You can't reach out there as far with the cheaper ammo. So, if you're spending a couple bucks every time you pull the trigger, you want to make sure every shot is worth it, and this is going to help you a lot when it comes to sighting in your rifle. So, as you all know, it's deer season. Depending on where you live, it may or may not be rifle season already. For us, rifle season starts in 5 days here in Michigan. Pretty excited, and if you're anything like me, you haven't even touched your rifle yet because you've been too busy bow hunting with school and with work. So, we're going to try to zero this in real quick and take it out and shoot it eventually. Hopefully I'll be able to fire some rounds in the next couple days here before the season starts and make sure everything's good. But I can do this from my apartment right here, right now, in a matter of minutes. So let's start by opening the box. Inside the box we've got the actual optic. Looks like this. And we've also got a whole array of different caliber bores that you would be using. Now I'm using a 30-06 model 700 by Remington, and I've got a Nikon 3-9x40 BDC reticle scope. It's a Pro Staff series. Absolutely love this scope. Recommend it to anybody, but just put it on this gun. I had it on another gun, and I'm excited to get this sighted in. So I'm going to take my scope covers off, set the gun down. I choose the .30 because I'm using the 30-06, and I'll read off all of the calibers in a moment. And it's simple installation to get it started. Around this bore, there's a flat spot. Now that simply goes right inside here, and you screw it down nice and tight. Doesn't even have to be that tight, just to secure it. And next, you insert it into the bore of your gun. And assuming that you don't have raised mounts, that would make it a little bit more difficult and less accurate. This is what it'll look like. Now it's real simple. The crosshairs on your scope and the crosshairs in the optic down there have to line up. There's only one way for them to line up perfect, left, right, up, and down. So you have to adjust the optic down here, and this turns nice and easy. You have to make sure that and your scope line up so that they're level. There's only one level, and they'll find each other once you work it a little bit. It'll make it easier if it's in a gun vise for you, so you can kind of work it around a little bit, but I don't have one with me right now, so I'm just showing you how it is. So I actually already kind of went through and made sure everything's level, and I tightened down all my Allen wrenches to make sure everything's good. And now I've got to change my reticles. So I take off my scope caps. You got to make sure that this lines up level. Now, as I told you, I already made sure that my reticles are level here, and these are lining up perfect for me. So what is on the inside of this, I'll try to show you, but I'm going to explain it first. It's a 10x10 grid where your crosshairs will line up right in the middle of it, and that's what you want. You want to move your reticles around until you make sure that they are perfectly aligned. So you want your middle crosshair you want the perfect X of your middle crosshair to line up perfectly with the one in here. So what you do is you look through it and you just change your turrets as needed. Now without firing a single shot, I've already got this bore sighted. And this should be pretty accurate around 50 to 100 yards. I should have a couple inch groups right now. And what you're going to want to do is make sure that you do fire a few shots. Don't trust that this is sighted on perfectly. You're going to want to finish zeroing it in. I recommend zeroing it in at 100 yards after you do this. It'll take way less ammunition to do now that I've bore sighted it. My scope was actually on pretty well, but I work at Dick's Sporting Goods and we do this on a daily basis, and I've definitely seen quite a few that have been way off. Some manufacturers just now and then have a reticle that's just not set up properly or centered right, and it just takes a little bit. But it's super easy. As you can tell, this took me literally a couple minutes to do while explaining it. So next thing I would do, I'd put everything back together. Now this is ready to be shot, and since I'm not somewhere where I can shoot right now, I'll just explain to you what would happen next. So take that apart. So if I'm at the range, say I shoot, and I'm at 100 yards, I'm shooting 1 inch left and 1 inch high. Well, you zero that in at 100 yards. So now that you have your groups at 100 yards zeroed, you can put this back in at the end of your scope, and you can see where your crosshairs are on the grid. So you could mark, say it's over 2 and up 4. So it's just like in math class when you're in high school, 2, 4, that's your grid point. So you can remember or write it down somewhere that if your scope ever does get knocked off or something, or you just want to check it and make sure everything still lines up, you put this in the end and make sure your crosshairs still line up at 2, 4, or wherever it may be on there. So it's real simple, can save a lot of money and a lot of time when it comes to sighting in your rifle, because ammo is skyrocketing. I just bought ammo today and I spent more than I needed to. But I really want to reach out there at far distances. I may even use this on some coyotes this year, a couple 100 yards farther than I would for deer. So I'm real excited. To put it to the test, and good luck deer hunting. You should definitely give this a shot, because it'll save you a lot of shots. Until next time, hunt hard, hunt safe, and have fun.